On the air,
On the
Suzilla!
Hey, it's Suzilla. I'm Susie. That's Matt. Welcome to Wenatchee Insurance here in the lovely valley of Wenatchee. And Suzilla, our podcast.
Yes.
Yes.
We've been doing this for
I don't know, a couple of years.
4.
Has it been 4 years?
We started this as a, hey, learn something new for COVID. So yeah, it was April 2020 we started this.
Wow, I really did not realize that. Forgive me, I'm feeling a little under the weather today. I have a cold, but at least that's all it is.
Yes, that's one of those things that someone noticed last week.
Someone noticed what?
Where we sell from.
Huh?
Last week we had an event.
Yes.
I turned around and asked our local partners, hey, we want to support the local youth parade,
right? Because we're in the middle of Apple Blossom, which is the big event for Wenatchee, our big seasonal celebration.
Yeah, and quite frankly, we're broke as a joke.
Oh yeah.
And so I asked the different insurance companies to say, hey, would you be interested in
throwing some swag our way?
Throwing some swag our way so we can hand it out. And we had 3 Care and Molina. And we gave just about everything.
Oh yeah. There's very little left. And we had, let's see, we figured it was 240 water bottles, something like that. And we gave out probably 200 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. What we did is, because we are, like Matt says, broke as a joke, is we created a water hydration station.
Yeah.
We got big jug. We borrowed a couple of, reminds me, called Johnny. Couple of big, those big orange
containers that you see at every job site across the United States.
Filled them full of cold water and filled water bottles for people.
Yeah.
It cost us our time.
Yeah. That was our big, but it's something that just, you just look at it, it's like, that's so you.
It is us.
And one of the vendors noticed that. It's like, that's what we like about you. And it's creating a customer experience, or even a vendor experience. Being able to be real is kind of a rarity.
You think so?
Yeah. Well, think about the large corporate structures. They want to round all the corners.
Yeah.
Make it as beige as possible.
Yeah.
Factory line it so there's no wasted labor.
Yeah.
There's no spontaneity.
Yeah.
And because we are small business, mom and pop, we can have flavor.
Yeah, that's true. That's why we're shiny and colorful in our office rather than beige.
Or the real typical for insurance companies is red, white, and blue.
Yeah, that's super common. Although green's kind of pinged up a little bit.
It has pinged up a little bit, but for particularly property and casualty, it's always that red, white, and blue.
Yeah. With health, purple's been trendy.
Purple's usually that when it comes to color wise, is that creative. Taco Bell is a purple company.
But we're still, we've gone in different directions this entire time. We used to have sort of a orangey brown look, and now we're more of a white background, lots of rainbow kind of feel.
Yeah.
Superhero look, which also, by the way, looks really good. When we rebranded this year to Wenatchee Insurance, we changed up our logo, and we've got the white background with the Wenatchee Insurance logo, and it looks like a superhero.
Yes, and it's breaking a lot of rules.
It is. It's breaking a ton of rules for insurance, but that's okay.
Well, it's breaking rules for marketing.
Okay.
Because your logo, you should have 3 colors, and we're like, we'll use the whole rainbow.
Well, no, actually, our logo is really just about. It's 3 colors, but variants of them.
Yeah, there's some
shading.
There's some shading.
Yeah.
And it's it makes for an intense image. That was one of the questions someone asked on one of my insurance boards. It's like, oh, are you guys, beige was a little pop of color, or you use bright colors? And I'm like, we use them all.
Yeah, I'm looking at my business card, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors with gradient transitioning in them. So
yeah, and it's and at the same time, it's very us.
It is extremely us, and I love that about us.
We don't have, I literally have conversations about barbecue and tattoos.
True. Well, I mean, you proudly display your tattoos, which
Yes.
Not a lot of insurance agents do. There's the whole no. You can have tattoos, but you have to wear long sleeves.
Yes, and it's kind of a fear factor.
Yes, and the question is it a fear from the agent side, or a fear from the client side, or a fear of the client?
I think, well, some of it's corporations.
Yes,
it's that tow down to the corporate overlord.
Yes,
and they want that assembly line, and they don't want it's a fear of alienation.
They don't want to alienate the potential client.
Yeah,
not realizing that the potential client really, in a lot of ways, doesn't care anymore.
I
okay,
think,
a lot of our clients don't care.
I think our clients do care.
Okay.
And the reason why I say they do care is they don't want an assembly line, cookie cutter. No. They want individualized service.
Absolutely. And which is something we've always provided.
And you can't get that without having individuals.
Yep, that's true. And we've always been really proud of our individuality, And
it's one of those ones that are, some of our peers look at it and it's like, I like what you're doing. It's cool. I can never do it. And then we have some that are completely revile it.
Yeah. They're afraid of it.
Are just.
And there's some that are going, I can learn from that, and starting to embrace the feel.
Yes.
Although they are still relatively rare.
I think you see it more in some of the individualized agencies.
Oh yeah, in the independent agencies, absolutely. If you're a captured agent, if you work for specifically, one of the red, white, and blue companies, that just isn't going to be a possibility, most likely.
Yeah, and it's one of those ones. There's been points where it's like, hey, you need to go over here for this policy because that's the one better suits you.
Yeah,
we've done that before.
I'll do that in a cold minute.
You can't do that with some of those contracts.
Nope.
And that's what most.
It's my way or the highway with those companies.
Yeah, and you can't refer out. You cannot be an actual honest advisor.
No, you are an advisor that can advise only what you are contracted to sell.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a drawback. Some people thrive in that. They really do. We don't, which is why we do what we do.
Do they thrive, or does their pocketbook thrive?
That's a good question. Probably depends on the person, but
because we are seeing a lot of burnout in the industry.
That's true. That's hugely true. But then we're also seeing that the pocketbook isn't thriving like it used to.
Mm-hmm.
So so why do it?
That's that. I'm going to use it. The big Kahuna shift.
Big Kahuna shift.
The big Kahuna shift.
What? There's pineapples involved now.
The Big Kahuna was a Kevin Spacey movie.
Oh, okay.
About sales.
Oh, yeah.
Early 2000s. And
I don't remember much about it. I just remember it exists.
Basically, the story was the two old sales dogs. They had to make the sales pitch to the big fish that was coming in. They had a young, I believe it was Ashton Kutcher, was the young kid.
Uh-huh.
And it was the stress and the pain of setting up this big sales presentation that had to be in a specific order and a specific thing. And Ashton ended up down in the lobby having the conversation with the big fish.
Uh-huh.
And the blowout, must-have sales presentation was a big, massive failure. But at the end, the big fish set up for a meeting because of that little conversation he had with
Those conversations make a difference.
And
that's what we do here,
Mhm.
is those conversations.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because I kind of stumbled into insurance sales, just like Matt. Well, Matt, leapt into it. He dragged me kicking and screaming.
I did not.
You did too.
I did not. I safe ported you.
Yeah, and I was kicking and screaming the entire time because I was afraid of my safe porting.
And that's really important is having that safe place to risk.
Yeah.
Because the deal was you were miserable in your corporate job.
I really was.
I mean, white shirts, black shoes, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
You didn't have time. You couldn't spend extra time with clients.
Nope.
And it was soul crushing.
It really was. It had really become soul crushing. Yeah.
And so the offer was, hey, you know a little bit about insurance. Why don't you come get your license, go open enrollment season, see if you like it. If you don't, you can find something else the next day. The policies stay in the family.
And we move on.
And you move on. And that was 10 years ago, and you kept going.
It's true. Has it been 10 years?
You've been doing it for over 10 years now.
Oh, wow. It just seems like it's been for always. But that's not a bad thing. 10 years in a good way. It's like our marriage, 20 years in a good way.
Yeah, we've been doing insurance half our marriage.
Jeez, I don't hate that. Yeah, we'll be married 20 years this year.
Uh-huh.
It took us a while to figure out that that's how long it's been, because it's always been forever in a good way.
Yeah, because it was weird because it's natural, and that's what people don't understand. It's like, and even our kind of little dances have been very natural. The most famous one we ever did was the pineapple.
Oh yeah, because we both. It was the pineapple question. It's like we never really asked each other, "Do you like pineapple?" I love pineapple.
Fresh pineapple.
Fresh pineapple especially.
Yeah.
Never was a big fan of pineapple on pizza.
Mm-hmm.
So I never ordered pineapple on pizza because that was where most people start with, it's like
that's their gateway drug.
That's a gateway. It's a handy way to get pineapple. But it was
the trip down Oregon coast.
Was it Oregon coast or was it one of the Bountiful baskets?
It was Oregon coast because we got the cutting board.
Yeah.
And we bebopped into a Safeway. I believe it was around near Newport.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, those pineapples look so cute. And that was the introduction to the.
You like pineapple? You like pineapple? Why do we not know we liked pineapple? We both like pineapple.
And this is, we had been hanging out, 5-10 years at that point?
Oh, probably close to that, yeah.
And it just never crossed.
No, there was never a topic that came up.
And so yeah, even our most awkward phases are natural.
Yeah, but we're fortunate in that regard.
Mm-hmm. And we work through them, and that's the important thing. But yeah, it's being able to do things naturally. That was one of the joys of one of our local stores stands.
Yeah.
And you were mentioning something about their branding. Or their signage.
Oh, they've got a new billboard up.
It was their logo.
Oh, their logo?
The logo. Because the informal was, if Stan's doesn't have it, you don't need it. I
think that's what it said, yeah.
No. That's in our heads.
Oh, okay.
From kids.
Well, no. The Stan's rule was if no one else has it, go to Stan's, because they probably do.
Yeah.
You always go to Stan's.
But yeah, they got this big, long, gobbledygook catchphrase, and I was like, that don't work.
Yeah.
And that's them trying to be that corporateness.
Yeah.
And not get down to the blue jean of it.
Which is funny because they are very much a blue jean business.
They are.
They're small. They're local.
Mm-hmm.
They've got 2 stores, 3 stores. They branched out to like Ellensburg.
Oh, they bought one of the Ellensburg ones? Okay.
I want to say, yeah. They're an Ace Hardware. So,
yeah.
But they're very much a small business. a good size small business, but still
Yeah.
a small business. And when Bob Stanley started Stan's Mary Mart, that's called Stan's Mary Mart. These 45 years ago or more, possibly.
It's been longer than that.
Okay, so, probably close to 60 years. I forget how old I am sometimes, but it was a variety store. They had a huge toy department. They had some grocery. I love that toy department when I was a kid. But they had, clothes. They had housewares.
Bob would go to these events and purchase lots.
Yes.
And bring in these lots and proceed to price them and sell them about the store in a crazy haphazard manner.
Which was part of the fun.
Because you could reach to the back of the shelf and pull out buried treasure.
Well, what you do if you were shopping at Stan's and you were looking for something and there was like 4 of the same item, you would always go to the back of the shelf because they never reprice things. They just put the new price in the front. So you went to the back, you get the lower price. And there was always buried treasure.
The back rooms were incredible.
Oh yeah. It was just amazing. But they've streamlined a lot since then.
Yeah.
They scaled back. They still have housewares, but they've kind of focused more on camping, hunting, canning. A lot of canning. They still have a strong hardware department because they're an Ace Hardware, and if you want scrubs or Carhartts or guns, that's a great resource in this town. It's a great place to shop. It really is. And some of the weirdest sodas you'd ever look for.
Yeah, and that's that individualized flavor that still is there.
Yeah, exactly.
Despite some of the corporateness.
Exactly.
And that's what you look for in every experience. And because you can't get experience, it's hard to convey experience with online click shopping.
Yes, that's true. There's efforts being made. I mean, you try to create, advertising that is engaging and creates a little, sometimes even they shoot for interactivity. And it doesn't always, but it's not the same.
No, it's not. And we've had clients that have come to us because they've done the online shopping and gotten burned.
Oh yeah. Well, especially like insurance. What happens is you try to shop online. You put in information, and if heaven forbid you put in your phone number, you're on a call list and it will not stop. And then your number gets sold and sold and sold and sold and sold.
Those dead lists used to be, I haven't priced them recently. I used to be able to, because we did one round, we call it the Phoenix list.
Yeah.
And that was, I think it was like it was
like 5 cents a lead.
Yeah, it was like 5 cents a lead.
Yeah.
And we got like 1,000 names off of it. And we still have people that come in and it's like, okay. And it was an interesting.
Now, to be fair, we did not actually get any hits from that lead list.
No, not the first year.
Not the first year. We got people coming in after that, but not because we reached out to them. They just coincidentally turned up on our Phoenix list because they were shopping for insurance at some point. And they shopped again, and we were there to shop. For them. But leads are kind of. No.
But that's a very corporate manner. Is to purchase those lists and hit up the calls, and it's a very hot topic in the insurance world on
where do I get
use.
Leads?
And where do I get leads? And it's like, we know people who literally play video games, and that's how they get their leads.
Yeah, exactly. They do the internet. They play video games and do with other people on the Oh God, I'm sorry. I am blurry brained this morning. You're going to have to help me out with this. But you get on the computer and you play games with other people across the nation, and that's one of the ways that they develop leads is by creating those relationships. Yeah,
because they do this is a smart person. This is a fun person. They do the insurance. I've got an insurance question.
Exactly.
It becomes safe to communicate.
And that's how we behave. We don't do the video game thing, but we do it other ways.
Yeah, I get people that come up and I had one from 8-9 years ago.
Uh-huh.
This last week,
Oh.
saying, "Hey, are you still doing that insurance?" Yes, I'm doing the insurance thing.
Yep.
Well, I need this. It's like, okay, and the wild thing is when I get the, well, I need this, I start immediately qualifying them.
Okay, go ahead.
And the reason why I'm qualifying for them is like, I need to make sure that A, they're a good fit, or B, they're just on a fishing expedition.
Gotcha.
Because sometimes it's like, okay, yeah, this is a great person. You need to go over there.
Yeah.
And we do. It's like part of being a solid advisor is knowing that, hey, not my wheelhouse.
Exactly.
I'm not going to give you that tax advice. You need to go to a tax expert.
Yeah, exactly. And that's absolutely cool.
Mm-hmm. But being able to have those boundaries is really important. I remember getting flack when early on, when letting a client know what my compensation was.
Oh yeah, people hate that we tell people what we make, which isn't very much. But in case you're curious, our highest commission for health insurance is $25 for individual health insurance is $25 per person per month. Thank you, and better.
Mm-hmm. But then for like dental, it's like 10% per month. Is it 5%?
5%.
5%. I got to change my thought process. 5% per month.
Per person per month. Well, no, per contract per month.
So if you're dealing with a $50 policy, you're looking at $2.25.
Yeah, we're not making much on those, but it's all about volume. And the thing is, those are not. Mm-hmm. We're not just the dental insurance person. I mean, yeah, we can do dental insurance. We do dental insurance. Mm-hmm. We offer it because it's a great add-on, especially for Medicare, because Medicare doesn't handle dental insurance.
Well, we laugh because we're in a relatively small marketplace in Central Washington. There's about 250,000 people here.
Yeah.
And we're all over the state.
Yeah.
However, you laughed when Delta threw down that you were beating out some of the guys in bigger markets.
That's true. They're running a contest right now, and if you get X number of policies within an X period of time, you get a gift card. And we got the whole, this is how things are going. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm beating out blah blah. It's like I'm higher on the rest than they are. It's like, that was so cool.
And we joke because contests for us,
they don't mean anything.
They really don't. And part of it is because of our genuineness. It's not about the money.
Never has been.
And we've always operated that way. It's one of the first things we did was we took care of Apple Health.
Yep.
We absorbed that in. We don't get paid a dime for them.
Nope.
Maybe they might go out. Originally, when the initial numbers when they started the program about 11 years ago, they said between 1% and 2% will go out in a year.
Uh-huh.
It's hard to say. I've seen some of those original lists stay around.
Oh yeah.
So it just really depends on the individual and what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's there it exists for a reason.
And at the same time, when we were looking at our property Tuesday, because we had our first meeting of the minds for the year.
Yeah.
Because we kind of wanted to see what we're doing. Over 80% of the policies, over 80% of the households with our property book has got more than one policy.
Cool.
So and that's not including the health tie-in, because we haven't fully integrated that book yet.
But so what that tells me is that people realize that there is value in multi-policy discounts. B, we are offering enough to give that kind of broad variety of needs, and that people have toys.
Yeah, we're being North Central Washington, a lot of people have
boats, snowmobiles, 4Runners.
Well, if you got a 2-person household, odds are you have two cars.
2 cars, yeah.
And the reason why is because the distance.
Yeah, you can't really just walk to the neighboring town very easily. Well, you can go to East Wenatchee, but you can't really walk to Leavenworth easily, for example.
Yeah, we've got a lot of distance between us. There is a space. I figured out at one point, Chelan, Douglas, Okanagan County is about the size of Connecticut.
Yep. People don't realize how widely spread Washington State is.
Yeah, and that's one of the complications, and that's why when we started, looking at things, you just can't scratch the surface. You got, to have deep conversation, and we encourage people, if they have an agent, to have those deep conversations with them, because you can get a feeling of, hey, does this person know what they're talking about?
Yep.
Do they have, my best interest in heart? Because early on, it was really early. It was when Nick was still doing T-ball. We had a conversation with one of the parents about them having to move their policies from the insurance company because the agent was going to Vegas for hookers and blow.
No.
It was just like, yeah, I can see why someone would do it. And that's, they found that out, and it was shocking to them.
Yeah.
And it was just like, yeah, there's some people who do that. And if you don't have those conversations, or if you've got that veneer of beige, you will never know that they're going and doing hookers and blow.
And some people are very happy with supporting people who go do hookers and blow. That's their prerogative.
Yeah.
Other people, it hits them, their moral outrage hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the reasons why we're honest about the way we do things. So.
Well, we've been upfront and honest, and it's like that's what spawns, half the barbecue questions. And oh yeah, I go up to Gebber's, get some beef, or we know these weird spots in the state because we travel throughout the state.
Use the state because we live in the state. We're not some guy who's living in Vermont and trying to sell it in the state.
Mm-hmm.
And there can be value to that, but generally speaking, you're not dealing with a local human being.
Well, yes, and you don't create local resources.
That's true. If the guy that you're talking to on the phone is out of Florida, you're giving Florida income, not Washington income.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm clogging up a little bit.
Yeah, because you get the oh my gosh, hey, that person in Florida is awesome. They get that wonderful income, and they could go spend it at their Florida stores.
Yeah.
Or you can, simply, oh, hey, the person in Wenatchee can spend it in Wenatchee stores.
There you go.
And
support your local businesses.
You support your local businesses that way, and you support your local characters that way.
Yeah. And that's a character. There's no question about it.
Well, yeah.
Yar. Deal with it.
Yar.
You got a tattoo that says, let's taco about insurance.
Yeah, and just wait till I get some more.
You're going to go full sleeve, aren't you?
Perhaps. I mean, if it's good enough for chefs, why can't insurance people have tattoos?
Insurance people do have tattoos that you just usually wear long sleeves.
I didn't see very many insurance tattoos when we did Soup Live, which is next week.
Yeah, where we're not going to make it this year, but it is what it is. But we do know some local agents that are well tattooed, but wear long sleeves.
Yeah. So
there you go.
So yeah, that's your kind of your choices. Support your local characters. If you're, it's easier to gauge people when they're being honest with a little bit. I call it throwing grit.
Okay.
For example, it's like Susie's like, yeah, I'm sick. Cool. Because honestly, there ain't no backup.
No. If I were testing hot for COVID, I'd be at home, but I'm not. I just have a head cold.
Well, yeah, and that's the point where if you're testing hot for COVID, we shut it down, and we go to phone appointments.
Yeah, as
best we could.
We haven't had that happen. Knock wood.
But that is the important thing is we're able to be honest. It's like, today's not so good, or today's great. we have those conversations.
Yeah.
It's not, hey, would you like fries with that?
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
when you're going out, if you run a business, hey, is it a very human business? Is it individualized?
Huh?
Or is it very beige?
Yeah. And sometimes beige works.
Sometimes beige works.
Sometimes not so much.
Sometimes not so much. However, if you feel great at the end of the day, and beige works for you, awesome.
Can you get a good night's sleep? Can you look at yourself in the mirror? Do you enjoy your beige shower curtain? Then more power to you.
Do you enjoy that polo shirt?
Then more power to you.
More power to you.
Because there's going to be people that respond well to beige.
Yep. So, hey, have a great day.
Yes,
and
indeed.
if you can, get real.
real.
The real.
Yeah, sure. That's the whole thing.
Because people crave something real.
Yeah. All right. Well, have a great day. Enjoy. If you're in Wenatchee, enjoy Apple Blossom. And if you're not, enjoy whatever's going on for your week in your town.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.